Panago Pizza presents STP. The Steve Dangle Podcast with your hosts, Steve Dangle and Adam Wilde.
The number 3 overall selection in the 2016 NHL Draft belongs to Columbus Blue Jackets.
Columbus moves up 2 positions. 5-3 will select 3rd. That leaves Winnipeg and Toronto. The Leafs enter tonight with a 20% chance to win the lottery. The Jets held 7.5% chance to win the lottery. Jets general manager Kevin Cheveldayoff, Maple Leaf president Brendan Shanahan, and Auston Matthews in Finland look to Bill Daly to reveal who will win the first overall selection. Bill?
The first overall selection in the 2016 NHL Draft belongs to the Toronto Maple Leafs.
Yeah! Yes! Woo! God, even better than the 10th time around, isn't it?
Oh, you know what's great? You know what's great?
What's great?
I've seen so many people complain, saying that it's unfair and that the draft is rigged and that Leaf fans are already acting like they won the cup. You know what's weird about all those things people are saying? Is it doesn't take away the fact that the Leafs are the first overall pick!
It's amazing.
The center of the universe wins again. Shut up, you're second, we're first.
I don't think Leaf fans are acting like we won the cup. I think we're acting like we won the damn draft lottery.
Woo, which is good enough.
And nobody, by the way, nobody in Toronto has said this is good enough. It's like, this is a great next step. All right, we know where we're at. Thank you, world. You don't need to tell us where we're at. We realize we've lost a lot. Thank you.
Would you rather pick first or not first? The answer's first. Shut up.
The answer is always first. Now, hang on.
Shut up. Here's the first overall pick. Go Leafs.
I have got one of the best reactions I've ever seen, and it was sent to us by @hyperbolic_Mike and then retweeted by Brendan Shanahan.
Yes, I didn't realize that. So he tweeted that directly at me, right?
At all of us, all 3 of us.
At all of us?
Yeah.
Brendan Shanahan retweeted that?
Yeah.
Well, don't I feel special?
And he's from Arizona. He's a Leafs fan in Arizona.
Oh.
That's why his house is so beautiful and big, because houses don't cost as much there, and the weather's so nice, and the grass is so green.
Yeah, that guy's dressed like he's at the pool or something.
He looks like a very fancy man, you might say.
He's
Beautiful
incredibly fancy. My favorite part of that video isn't just that he's literally trembling with joy. Oh my God! Shaking at the hands. It's his poor child who probably thinks something is wrong with her father.
His child was definitely terrified. That video, by the way, has 132 retweets and 351 likes.
Wow, that's not enough.
No, it's not.
That's not enough.
We ran it on breakfast television yesterday.
Nice.
Oh,
Yeah.
there you go.
Yeah, I went digging, and obviously that one was.
Did you tell him that?
I don't think I did. I ran it on Kiss too.
Well, if you're a listener of the show, you were on national. Wait, national?
Well, BT's not national.
Toronto-wide.
Toronto,
Good enough.
And then we ran it in 8 markets on the radio too.
There you go.
But yeah, it was. I mean, that was how it felt. The problem right now, I'm facing an issue, gentlemen, and I'm hoping you can help me out with this. The problem is that I expected to start the show with a whole bunch of Leaf stuff.
Oh yes,
but then the Calgary Flames went and did a thing, and now that's kind of the top story, but we still have to get to all the Leaf stuff. So do we talk about the Calgary Flames right now? Because I think that's what we should do.
No, they know their place on the totem pole. Next break. Next break.
We'll talk about the Calgary Flames later then.
No, I'm kidding.
Okay, no, you want to do it now?
No. Let's go Leafs, but obviously, yeah, we got to talk about Hartley because that's a big deal.
Because it is an interesting thing. I also got some interesting stuff for later in the show as well, including some vintage Dangle.
Oh, no! I was tweeting that stuff to...
Vintage Dangle is going to be great. Now, let's talk about the first thing, which is the interview that Auston Matthews did after the announcement was made. Now,
I've never seen such an enthralled human being.
He didn't look quite as miserable as Connor McDavid did after the draft.
No.
However, he didn't look very excited. So here's him, Daryl Millard.
Prospect Auston Matthews looking on from Finland. What was that like to watch this drama?
Yeah, very nerve-wracking, but yeah, I know a lot of mixed emotions, but it's definitely pretty exciting to be a part of.
Are you more relieved now or excited?
I think a little bit of both. It's nice to have a little bit of clarity. Nothing's set in stone, and there's still a ways away from the draft. So just trying to stay in the moment right now, and enjoy my time here and focus on the World Championships.
How much did you look at the teams with the higher odds, like the Toronto Maple Leafs, like the Edmonton Oilers, and going on down the list?
Not too much. I try not to really focus on that and kind of stay away. And whatever happens. It'll work out for itself.
Okay, what time is it there right now in Helsinki?
3:30 something.
Okay.
There you go.
Go to bed then.
So God bless Darren Millard, because first off, an interview like that, when you got a double ender, basically, when you got two faces and it's a long sort of interview across, an ocean, there's going to be a delay.
Oh, I don't even like when there's a slight delay on the phone, and you're just kind of, I hate that.
It's awkward.
Imagine having to deal with that doing a TV interview.
And if anybody, and then you're doing it at 3 a.m. Finish time.
3:30. Yeah. Okay. So here's the difference. Everyone was like, "Well, why aren't you ripping on him like you ripped on Connor McDavid?" Okay. First of all, McDavid looked legitimately miserable.
He did. Yeah.
Not just not excited, which Matthews is kind of just like, yeah, all right, whatever. Indifferent. Yeah, he looks a little indifferent. McDavid looked legitimately sad.
He looks a little. I noticed before every interview, he sucks his teeth a little bit. He goes.
A little bit, yeah. Some people have that tick.
It's a hockey thing. What I thought about,
you think
the first person I thought about was Phil Kessel, because Phil Kessel always did that.
He did it a lot.
So
he did that a lot.
I don't want anybody to freak out, though, I guess, is the point.
Well,
what is he supposed to say?
Well, and also McDavid was here. He was here. It was like 7 o'clock, 7:30, maybe 8 o'clock when that happened to Connor.
Right.
This kid, it's the middle of the night. Hockey players, professional hockey players, are very particular about their sleep patterns. And like if you talk to one in the middle of the day, like I had the opportunity to do that a few years ago, mostly with Nike things. But like if you ever talk to someone on a game day, they're looking at their wrist, they're looking at the time, looking at their phone. Dude, I got a nap to get to.
Yeah,
I got a nap to get to, and you're talking to this kid before the World Championships at 3:30 in the morning. Yeah, I'd act like that too. At 3:30 in the morning, you're like, send me to Edmonton. I don't care. Who cares? I'll just go. I'll just want to go to sleep. You'll go to Edmonton at 3:30 in the morning.
Well, and there beyond that, he is trying to stay in the moment because he does want to win the World Junior Champ, or not the World Juniors, just the World Championships. And the other thing is, he's 18 years old, and this is a lot. And I think that, you got to imagine that amount of emotion is enough to shut anyone down. It doesn't matter how charismatic you are. I think about myself at 18, having that sort of maturity. There's no way. I wouldn't have known what to say or what to do. What do you do? Even if it works out perfectly for you in your own mind and it goes the way that you hoped it did, I don't know how you have an answer for people. So the fact that, to me, he answered it that way, fine. It doesn't really bother me. Don't take it as a sign, everybody. Stop being so sensitive. He wants to play in the National Hockey League. Whether he wants to be in Toronto yet or not, doesn't really matter, because he probably will be.
Yeah, McDavid, had a great season in Edmonton.
Sure doesn't seem to mind Edmonton too much.
Nope. So I don't think that matters. I don't think that matters at all. Can we just talk about, though, how the Leafs have the first overall pick?
This is amazing.
Like, I'm still processing it.
So hold on. There's a whole overarching thing. There's a couple more players that have been talked about in the last couple days. One signing here, one potentially signing here. I think you know where I'm going.
Oh, wow.
The first one is Nikita Zaitsev.
Yep. He signed officially, I think the max for what he could sign.
$925?
$925 and an $850 performance bonus. I believe that's all the max bonuses. 1 year, was it?
1 year.
1 year. Okay. So that's pretty good. And the worst kept secret in hockey. So that's very good. Leafs get a right-handed shot, which they were a little low on. A young defenseman, offensive-minded defenseman. You can definitely check out all his KHL highlights. I'm excited. It's good. Good news.
Yeah, and the scouting report on him is that he can score, he can move the puck, but he's also a guy that is a hustle back sort of guy. So he may, I mean, you look at his KHL stats, and a lot of people would be like, well, the KHL is a level below the NHL, so players should have this, players should have, like, shoot the lights out if they're going to make the NHL, right? But the KHL is not the CHL. Right?
No, it's a completely different style of play. It's not played on the same ice.
It's hard to get a point a game in the KHL.
It's extremely hard to get a point a game. I mean, if you look at Ovechkin, of course, this was back in the Russian Super League, which, I mean, most of the teams from there went to the KHL. He was the first overall pick, and everyone was ranting and raving about his goal scoring ability. 18 goals.
Full season.
18 goals. Go back and look. Kuhlman, the reason Kuhlman had so much hype before he joined the Leafs, he had 27. Holy smokes!
Wow.
Wow.
Scored more with the Leafs.
Got
yes, 30 goals with the Leafs.
Yes, he did that one time.
That one's...
well, you know.
Anyway.
No, Zaitsev, it's great news.
It is. And it adds, like you said, a valuable right-handed shot to the Leafs defense. Now, I have a lot of people, I've been, reading the tweets and that sort of thing. It's funny where people place Frank Corrado because of last season. People really undervalue what Frank Corrado is, I believe.
Well,
because they're putting him under, like, they're putting him under, I believe it's Connor Carrick.
Connor Carrick, you know what? He very well might be.
Really?
Gosh, Connor Carrick has looked great with the Marlies, man. He has looked great. Now, but I myself don't know where to place him. I don't know where to place him because of last season. He's going to get a full... So here's something I've been thinking, and it's been in the back of my mind for so long. It's great that the Marlies are in the playoffs, and it's great that they're going to have a deep run. It's great. And it's great that they're a young team that's able to do that.
And by the way, with Andreas Johnson.
I don't even know if he's going to slot in the lineup at all in these playoffs. Like,
there's already a team that has trouble playing all of its great players.
Oh my God. Like... Someone in a scrum yesterday at Marlies practice was talking about, and Krostalev just arrived. He was like the Leafs 7th round pick or something last year. I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even realize he was here.
And isn't Bracco?
He walked by me yesterday. I was like, oh right, Jeremy Bracco's here. Andrew Nielsen said hi. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right, he's here. Like all the junior players, the cavalry has arrived. Like it's absolutely ridiculous. Where was I going with that? Oh yes, so it's great that they're going on this deep playoff run, but they like it when young players have an off season. They like it when they have an off season to get their conditioning up, get their strength up, do a lot of training. When you have a long playoff run, it doesn't work that way. You don't quite get that. And I mean, throughout the organization, that's what you're getting. The Marlies are probably going to go deep. Mitch Marner is looking more and more like he's going to make it all the way to the Memorial Cup, which, as we all know, goes into freaking August.
Yeah.
Memorial Cup is the longest tournament ever.
And they still do it wrong.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, they do it wrong. I don't care. That's a different discussion for a different day, but they do it wrong.
I hope all the young players that we're putting so much stock into come out of the gate hot.
Agreed.
And not slow because... they maybe didn't get as long of an off season as others.
Well, I think they will, because remember, these guys are 18 and 19 years old.
That is true.
And you bring in these guys, you bring in Bracco, you bring in Johansson. I don't think or Johnson, or how do we Johnson. You bring him in not to sit. So they'll probably spread some of that time out. And they'll probably sit people for certain games.
I honestly don't know. I don't know. If it was the regular season,
they would have had to anyway. Yeah.
Does Zaitsev make the team coming out of training camp?
Yeah. He has a clause in his contract, I believe. If they send him to the AHL, he can go to the KHL.
Yeah.
And I think it's on loan or whatever.
AHL clause? Like a Canadian?
Adam. How dare you?
An KHL clause? You're just okay, HL. Get it? Oh my God, dingers, baby. Dingers all day.
I keep calling TJ Brennan AHL McInnes.
Oh, wow.
I think that's clever.
I think that's actually that's a good point.
Yeah, so that's all good news.
Now, then
it's so overshadowed. I wonder how many Leaf fans even know he's been signed.
Then we have George Larocque, who I didn't know this has a radio show.
I think I knew that.
In Montreal, and he said the other day, or he said yesterday,
one-time opponent of Andrew Peters.
That's right. Friend of the show, Andrew Peters.
Yes, friend of the show.
he said yesterday that the Stamkos deal is all but done. Now, I don't know how reliable that is, but there were some major hockey names today coming out and saying that they 150% believe that the Leafs are going to make a run at Stamkos in the summer.
Oh, so what? I'm going to make a run at going to the moon. I'm going to make a run at being the first sports broadcaster to make $20 million in a year.
And again, for anybody that's not heard your argument on this, why do you not go for Stamkos? Because there's a lot of people listening to this right now, especially on the radio side, going, "Are you insane? Why?"
No, it has nothing to do with the fact that I don't want him. But of course they're going to make a run at him. I don't think I've ever said they're not going to. They're going to try. But
why might it not be the best idea?
I don't think it's the best idea because Stamkos, he's itching to win something, okay? He probably should have made the 2010 Olympic team, and he didn't. And they won still, unbelievably. He was going to be a key piece of the Sochi team.
And then broke his leg.
Made it to the Stanley Cup final last year, fell 2 wins short. Was going to go on another deep run this year, blood clot. He wants to win now. Geez, Tampa might even win without him. They're doing crazy good. Crazy good. Imagine them getting a fresh Stamkos in the middle of the playoffs.
Could they?
That sounds like it's up in the air.
Okay.
The last I heard was he probably won't return before the final.
Man, imagine a fresh Stamkos in the final.
They got to make it there first.
Tampa's my team in the East. They're my one hope for my bracket.
But why would you waste your time on a rebuilding team? The Leafs, imagine the Leafs with Stamkos next year, okay? Good. Do they make the playoffs? Maybe. I'll give them a maybe.
That's a maybe.
An optimistic maybe.
A very hard maybe.
And then the next year, I would probably put them in. And then a year after, hockey's a big enough team sport that I don't know if one player can really have that huge of an impact on your team.
I think in this case you can. If you're talking about a player, okay, think about how many goals a team scores. How many goals did Jesse, the 10th place team, score this year, and the Leafs?
Probably something over.
What would it be?
Maybe 215, 220.
Okay. All right. So take that number and add 50 to it.
No, that's not how it works.
But man. Steve, that's how it works. Even if it
works if you're the biggest optimist ever.
Even if you take a player out of the lineup that scored for you. So let's say you take a 20-goal player out of the lineup. That's still plus 30 goals.
If he scores 50.
The Calgary Flames at 10 scored 229 goals. And the Toronto Maple Leafs at 28 scored 192.
So Steven Stamkos gets you, and I don't know this, but how many more wins is that?
Depends on his defense and all that, dude.
And his opportunity. I know.
You're looking at this so optimistically, and I won't let myself, Adam. I won't let myself.
Do you want another report from an ex-NHLer?
Oh, sure.
Patrick O'Sullivan said, final comment on the draft lottery, Stamkos will have zero interest in the Leafs. Now 0 chance he signs there.
Any reason why?
Nope. That's the tweet.
Well, that doesn't make any sense.
That's a little confusing.
Well, Patrick, if you want to report something like that, give a reason.
I think the last rumor I heard was the Leafs were going to offer 7 years, $70 million, so that would be $10 million a season. And the hilarious thing there is that would be a discount. He can make more than that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and probably
James is making 10.5. Now, the other thing there is Matthews is a center. Kadri's a center, and he signed long-term.
Bozak.
Well, Bozak.
Nylander.
He's probably going to be gone.
How do you know that? You think so?
Yeah.
You think so?
There's no room.
Well, no. If you're going to sign Stamkos, goodbye.
Yeah.
You got it. And
that's a pretty strong fourth line center. Right?
Yeah, making over $4 million when your third liner is also making over $4 million.
The rest of your team's making $925.
And then you got Nylander playing center. Someone told me that the Leafs envision him on the wing. I'm not sure where they heard that, but I'll take
Marner
it.
too. I've heard that with Marner.
They didn't play Nylander at center when he was up here.
Yeah, they did.
Did they?
Yeah. I don't know if it was all the time, but they did, and with the Marlies he is.
And I think Marner too, for sure. People are like, well, he's too small, but he's like 18.
I thought he was on the wing too. But anyway, a big sore spot with Stamkos is that they're not always playing him at center in Tampa. And with Matthews, I don't know. Like, it's funny. People keep saying Matthews makes it more likely that Stamkos will sign here.
I don't know about that.
I kind of feel like it might be less. It might be. He wants the opportunity. And also, like, why not sign with a contender? Is my biggest thing is why not sign with a contender?
And I agree with that. Here's what by the way, you want to do something really fun today? Do this today, okay? Because you are going to love it.
Let's do it.
Get on to General Manager. Don't look at the money. Look at the players.
That's kind of the point of the site, Adam.
Look at the players that the Leafs have, and you can include Stamkos in this if you want, just for fun, because this is what this is. And just try to do a line combination for next year. Include Matthews or Laine, whoever you want to pick. I think it's going to be Matthews, but Matthews or Laine. Now, we'll get to that. So just play with the lines. It is a very fun-looking team. However, that's just the forwards. I want you to then try the defense. Try doing the defense. Ooh. Well, we've got Hunwick and Riley. We've got Gardner and Zaitsev, and we've got
Marincin and Corrado.
Marincin's an RFA. Corrado
and
Carrick.
Victor Louvre,
Percy.
Stuart Percy. Unproven. Not saying bad. Unproven.
Young for a decor.
Yes,
very young for a decor.
And then the biggest glaring weakness, which is goaltending.
I still, dude, like I said with Calgary, they're still not a great team, but if you get league average goaltending, you're in there. You're in there. If Bernier plays the way he played from like January onward, and then you get a backup who did better than Sparks did this past season, you're in there. You're in the mix. You're in the mix for sure, Adam. Don't give me that look. Don't give me that look.
Listen, here's what I want to do. So that was fun. That exercise is a lot of fun. The next thing I want you to do is temper your expectations.
Yeah, we're getting really excited here at Leafs Nation.
We gotta relax a little bit. Here's the thing. Okay,
don't be pessimistic.
Let's say the Leafs do better next year. If they don't, If they don't finish 30th, they've done better.
Yeah.
Right?
Get more than 69 points.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, that's a nice amount of points, but
sure,
you could have more.
You could have more points. Let's say they get more points, and let's say they finish better, which you hope that they would. If the Leafs finish 20th next year, I'll be happy.
Oh, yeah.
I'll be over the moon ecstatic. And by the way, if they don't even make the playoffs for 2 more years, that means Auston Matthews will be 20 years old. That means Morgan Riley is 23. That means William Nylander is 21 and 22 and Marner's 21 or something like that.
See, I'm greedy. I'm down for one more year of no playoffs, and after that, no. Screw you.
My
you better
point,
make it.
The point is this, and if they do make the playoffs in that second year or even next year, this is a very young core of players.
Oh, yeah.
There is lots of time. And by the way, when you have a young core of players, if Morgan Riley and Jake Gardner are the senior guys, this is how young this core is. There's going to be mistakes. There's going to be tremendous ups, and there's going to be tremendous downs, and I want you to be ready for that.
Can I throw something out there?
Sure.
Is a lot of the teams that have had success over the last few years, they seem to have all come up together. Mm-hmm. Tampa might not.
They're like a dang.
Yeah,
this is my team.
It's my team. Tampa might not be the best example because they've had a little bit of internal strife recently. But like, look at the Kings, look at the Blackhawks, look at the Blues. For the most part, these guys had years to develop together. And that is what I think the Leafs are doing with the Marlies, and it's a very good thing. You develop personal relationships, you develop friendships, and you bring that with you onto the ice. I think you play better when you're happy. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But now all of a sudden, you're going to sign someone and be like, here's your leader now. Look at me. I am the captain now. That's what Stamkos is going to do.
Yeah.
Now that could work out A-okay. That could be just fine.
He could be a great leader.
Or it rubs people the wrong way. That's my little tinfoil hat hot take, throwing it out there.
And by the way, same with Tavares in 2 years.
Same with anyone you plunk into that role. That's what the Leafs did. And Phaneuf is your leader now. There you go.
Didn't work.
Well, and the constant turnover. And Mikhail Grabowski remarked about it. He's like, it's hard to build any chemistry. And I don't think he just meant on the ice. I mean, it's like, why bother learning the guy next to you's name? He's gone. I used to have this thing called the Toronto Zoo curse. I know I got to bring everything back to the Toronto Zoo. But pretty much every year, they had a guy do a signing at the zoo in the summer. And every single year, whoever that was traded within 12 months. Like Clark MacArthur did it. Nick Antropov did it.
Different regime.
Ponikarovsky, or
all the names that you listed.
Alexei Ponikarovsky.
Alexei, yeah. All the names you mentioned,
Nikolai
yes.
Antropov and Alexei Ponikarovsky. Darcy Tucker.
And there will be more. You got to look at, I mean, going into next year, it's great that they have guys like Brooks Lake. It's great that they have guys like Milan Mahalik, because those guys are, especially Brooks Lake, but I've heard great things about Milan Mahalik too in the Sens dressing room. These are character guys that for at least the next year are going to be able to take these young guys and show them, maybe the young guys are way more talented, but you're going to have guys that are living the right way, playing the right way, creating a great team environment, and you need that. And that's why they signed Kadri to the deal that they signed him to, because I don't think Auston Matthews or Patrick Laine, whoever, steps into the NHL on the first line. If I am a coach in the NHL, I am not letting Auston Matthews just take it. He's got to earn it.
Oh, of course. Especially with Babcock, who's used to like not allowing players into the league until they're 25.
Yeah. So yes, Auston Matthews may be the best Toronto Maple Leaf there is, right? If they draft
currently, right now.
Yeah, right now. And he's not even Leafs property yet. He might be the best Leaf that isn't a Leaf yet.
Might not even be their guy. Well, and here's another thing.
So do you not? I think you got to shield the younger guys. You got to give them lower minutes, different matchups. Not against your let a guy like Nazem Kadri take on Sidney Crosby.
Honestly, I think Babcock plays whoever plays the best for him.
Yeah,
he plays whoever earns it. And by the way, I keep saying this over and over again, and I got a video coming out probably later today, so it might be up by the time you hear this, on Zach Hyman. God, everyone...
Right, he's a center too.
No, he's not.
Oh, he's not? Okay.
Right wing. Can you imagine, though?
Oh, my God.
But everyone in this organization just loves him so much, and Babcock...
Said he was NHL ready.
Seemed to be a pretty big fan. Dude, I wouldn't be surprised to see that guy taking first-line minutes on occasion. With the Leafs.
Well, and what about
Greg McKegg?
What about Connor Brown? No one's talking about Connor Brown, who 2 years ago was the Marlies' darling. He just got injured last year, but he came back and was on fire.
You know what? Okay, so we're very optimistic about all the players we just mentioned. Let me dial it back. You're the Leafs. Mm-hmm. You get the first overall pick. And everyone is screaming at you, oh my God, we got the first overall pick. First time since 1985. First time since the Leafs drafted Wendell Clark. Oh my God, I can't believe that the Leafs have the opportunity to draft Auston Matthews. And you're Brendan Shanahan and you're going, yes, Auston Matthews. Because what if that's not their guy?
And we're going to leave you with that and come back and discuss it on Sportsnet 590 The Fan after this. So what if that first overall selection come June? Is it June 27th?
25th.
June 25th. Let's say that name is not Auston Matthews. Who is it?
Well, it's obviously Patrick Laine. Like that's your 1 and 2. That's your pretty definitive 1 and 2.
Why would Steve Dangle, the Leafs, not pick Auston Matthews and definitely pick Patrick Laine besides his the broest interview I've ever seen ever, which is at sportsnet.ca.
Oh yeah, so I have a little insight on that.
Okay.
By the way, so I was at CBC for the whole draft lottery thing. I got to hold the Leafs card.
Did it feel good? Did it feel powerful?
Oh, it felt so great. It was. I could tell the Leafs were in a really good mood because their media relations is usually very kind of tight. And I just happened to be standing next to the guy, and he shows me, he's like, hey, check it out. Shows me the card. I go, can I hold it? He's like, yeah, sure. He gives it to me. I'm like, no way. Selfie.
Amazing.
Selfie. Oh, it was so sick. Oh, yeah. And then I heard him. He walks down the hall. He's on the phone with someone, and he says something to the effect of, hi, Wendell. He got the voicemail. He goes, Wendell, this is so-and-so with the Toronto Maple Leafs. So I guess you're not the most recent first overall pick anymore for the team. And I was like, this guy's on the phone with Wendell Clark.
That's awesome.
Even if it's just his voicemail, that's pretty cool. Imagine being that dude.
Wicked dude.
So I was there. Patrick Laine, literally lying on the floor.
FaceTiming,
headphones and just chilling on the floor. Patrick, how are your hands? big. Like, really big. Like, he seemed, we all know how he seemed.
You got to check out at sportsnet.ca.
We all know how he seemed
hysterical
in that interview.
It's so funny.
The Finnish Macaulay Culkin, a little bit.
Yeah.
A little bit.
But in the best way.
I was told that they tried to stand him up. And like, they tried to get him to stand up for the interview, and they did. And for some reason, for whatever room he was in, I guess he's in a hotel, it just looked really stupid. And they're like, you can just lie back down.
Wow.
And so it wasn't just him going, I'm doing this on my back. Like, they checked out a couple different options, and they're like, whatever, go ahead and lie down. Hey, it got people talking. It's pretty weird. Now, people are talking about them being the definitive 1 and 2, and I feel like this happens almost every year, or at least it did for a while. The first was Taylor versus Tyler. In 2010, Taylor Hall versus Tyler Seguin. It was Taylor Hall all the way until a month or two before, when they're like, could Tyler Seguin go number 1? And everyone's like, oh my goodness. And then, before that, John Tavares was the first overall pick for a solid 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
Until, nope, Victor Hedman. Here we go. Not a lot has been made of that, by the way. Islanders are playing Tampa right now, and it's Tavares versus Hedman in a playoff series.
Tavares still went first overall, though.
Still went first overall.
So did Taylor Hall.
So did Taylor Hall. So this happens every year, or this happens frequently. And how often does the, who I heard could go first guy ever go first? I remember one, I think it was the Red Line report reported, we have Matt Duchene going first overall.
He went third, right?
Because they had to be just so cool. And yeah, he went third. Nothing against Matt Duchene, but John Tavares.
Yeah.
There you go. So I would say the Leafs will pick Matthews first because he's the consensus first, no matter how many people say, oh, but Laine, because that happens all the time.
You're going to hear a lot of European scouts who have Laine ahead of Matthews. And you know why? Because European scouts are scouting who?
Europeans.
Now,
dude, I think
there
could be a bias there.
But Matthews, there is a bias here. So Matthews is playing in Europe. So I understand if people are like, well, they're watching him too. Agreed. Totally agreed. But let's not pretend there isn't a bias in North America for North American players too.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not trying to diss Laine either.
No.
But consider this. We ripped on the Oilers because they almost unanimously in their management group wanted Ryan Murray in 2012. They wanted him. What was the whole campaign in 2012?
Yakupov.
Fans were screaming, fail for nail. Fail for nail, Yakupov. And, I heard Galchenyuk could go first overall. Screw your Galchenyuk. It's going to be Yakupov. He's been first overall for a year. Come on, fail for nail. Let's go. Everyone was screaming, fail for nail. But the Oilers have the first overall pick. And they don't want nail. They want the other guy, but everyone's screaming for him. Imagine if the Leafs all along have wanted Laine, and now they got just legions of fans screaming, holy smokes, we're finally get the first overall pick. We're finally going to get Auston Matthews. And then the Leafs go up there, and with the first overall pick, we select Patrick Laine. You know what? I would not be devastated because I haven't seen either of them play nearly enough, but a huge portion of Leaf Nation is going to collapse. They're going to freak if they don't pick Matthews.
Fair, but if there's any management group that does not give a flying patoot what the fans are saying, it's the Leafs management group.
Yeah. In November, I think a month into next season, Lamoriello will be 74.
Yeah. Lou Lamoriello doesn't care what you think. He doesn't care what I think. It's okay. And because, you know why? Because Lou Lamoriello is a smart hockey mind. Brandon Shanahan, smart hockey mind. And I can say that with definitively now, not just because both of them have great histories, but because they're running this team properly. And whatever pick they choose to go with, I'm going to have to say, then that had to be the pick to go with. I'm not saying people don't make mistakes.
Never know. Well, I guess we won't know for a while.
For a while.
Laine is going to be great. And what sucks? You know what sucks?
Is that they both can't be Leafs?
That. But also, the Kessel and Seguin comparison, that went on for years and years and years. People comparing them to one another because they were traded for one another. And I think Matthews and Laine are going to have this happen no matter who the Leafs pick. And they're not actually even involved in any way.
McEichel had the same thing, though. McDavid and Eichel, and Ovechkin and Crosby. If you're an NHL player and you're a superstar, you will be compared to other superstars. Welcome to the show, kids.
That's true. Hey, that is very true. What a great problem to have.
Yeah, really. Are you the best? Are you better than the best? Like literally, that's the question being asked. I don't think there's a more positive debate that could go on.
And let me throw this out there, too. They got the first overall pick, and with that pick, they pick whoever. Then they also got the Pittsburgh pick, which could be anywhere in the 20s or even 30th if they win it all. And then, oh no, when's their next pick?
31st.
Oh, right, 31st, because they finished 30th and they have their own second. That's basically 3 first-rounders right there. Mm-hmm. I count it as 3 first-rounders.
Well, what have we heard about, forgive me, his name is escaping me right now, but he was like, what's the damn difference?
Oh, Justin Bourne.
What's the damn difference between 20 and 30?
Yeah, and what I've heard about this draft is it's very top-heavy, but it's not particularly deep. It's not a bad draft. It's not a good draft. It's just kind of a middle-of-the-pack draft. Yeah. So what I think you want in a middle-of-the-pack draft is a lot of picks. A lot of shots.
It's lottery.
Yeah, kind of. A little bit.
You're trying to pick the best number. You're trying to pick the best player. That's all it is.
Would you rather be the Leafs right now with 12 picks or Minnesota with 4?
Oh.
Who do you want to be?
Is that a thing?
Well, that's a thing. Who do you want to be? Do you want to be a team that got knocked out in the first round with 4 picks, or do you want to be the Leafs with 12?
Oh.
And that number might grow. I don't think they're going to trade down.
Well, and there was an article done at sportsnet.ca about that, and a few others have kind of looked into it as well, a few other outlets. But the interesting thing about trading down, or trading up or trading down, a lot of people are talking about, well, when you have that extra pick, do they wheel that Pittsburgh first pick, the Pittsburgh pick, and their second rounder at 31st there and move up to 17?
I don't know.
But
we'll have to see.
The numbers support the fact that you are. They basically do a points system, and you got to see
trading up rarely works.
Rarely works. You're basically trading 2 pretty good players for a pretty good player.
And you look at so many mid-round picks that the Leafs have given up in recent years. Dude, Leafs gave up the pick that the Blackhawks used to pick Brandon Saad.
Yeah.
Leafs gave up the pick. They gave up the pick for Craig Smith
in Gibson.
Nashville. They gave up the John Gibson pick, Rickard Rakell, Roman Josi. They gave up that pick. Now, who's to say they would have picked any of those players? But they did. And you know what? Other teams picked those players.
Yep.
Most of those players were available in that little 30 to 35, 36 slot.
The PK Subban, Duncan Keith zone.
Totally. Or even Ryan O'Reilly zone. He was available there. Lots of good players are available there. They're almost first rounders, pretty much.
So there's going to be a lot of speculation. I don't think the Leafs trade this pick.
No.
I don't think Winnipeg trades their pick. I don't think Columbus trades their pick.
What a haul for Winnipeg and Columbus.
I just want to say,
overshadowed by the Leafs winning.
Congratulations to Winnipeg fans.
Oh.
Amazing.
Whose face was funnier? Brian Burke's disappointment face or Trevor Linden's disappointment face? I'm going to go with Brian Burke because I felt legitimately terrible for Trevor Linden.
Did you?
Oh, he looked so sad, Adam. He looked so...
You felt bad for him?
He looked legitimately destroyed.
Maybe it was just that he felt like this could have bailed him out a little bit.
Oh, totally.
I mean, he is now without Shinkarik too in his prospect base.
That's fine, Adam.
They re-signed Granlund to less than $1 million for 2 years. For Shinkarik. I'm just saying.
He looked shattered. He looked very, very
But you
sad.
can't go into a lottery and hope that you're gonna win. I mean, you gotta hope you're gonna win, but you can't expect.
My God, that could have been the Leafs.
Could have been, but it wasn't.
Could have been the Leafs.
We still have the first overall pick, and that's a great thing. Everybody, the key in all of this, the important thing in all of this is that you temper your expectations. This is probably not a playoff team next year. They've got defense and goaltending and development of everybody to figure out. They have to remember they got a bunch of young great players. That's great. Now you got to develop them. Now you got to make sure they play right and live right and work together right. That's a lot.
Almost every year's got a world beater. Never know. Now, that world beater a couple years ago
Was the Calgary Flames.
Who
Today announced that their head coach had taken them as far as they could take them. That is a direct quote from
Brad Treliving.
Brad Treliving. He said this is as far as he can take us.
Is that...
it was time to let Bob Hartley go.
Is that a jerk move by Treliving?
Well, I think...
It's kind of an indictment of, like, I think this is as good as Bob Hartley can do.
This is how as good
groups.
Bob Hartley can do. I think in this particular case, they didn't hire Bob Hartley, right? Wasn't it?
No, but they did extend him.
They did.
It's just like, you know what? Brian Burke hired Randy Carlyle, but Brendan Shanahan and company extended him.
Was it Brendan? No, I don't think Shanahan was there. It was Lywicki that. I'm gonna say that it. Oh yeah, it was. Sorry, it was Nonis the year before that was extended by Lywicki.
I think Shanahan.
No, Shanahan wasn't there.
You're right.
The 5-year Nonis deal.
You're right.
Which I believe Nonis is, unless he's working. Is he working?
With the Ducks.
Okay, so then he's not being paid
as a
by
scout
them anymore.
With Raquel and Gibson.
Yeah. I think when it comes to the Calgary Flames, there has to be, I mean, you have a guy that literally had a world-beating team. Won the Jack Adams Award. Next season, he gets Paul McLean. What is it usually behind this? Is it the fact that there is a difference in what management wants to see from the team? Is it the regression of Calgary? Although you could have argued that it was always there, they just kind of got away with it because they had stellar goaltending and some stellar young players that they didn't expect. I mean, what is it?
I think Calgary's a smart team, and I think they see the writing on the wall. It's true. I was kind of ripping on Treliving there for saying that about Bob Hartley, but he is absolutely right when he says this is probably as far as he can take this team. I still say they would have done better next year with better goaltending for sure, but they relied heavily on a ridiculous shooting percentage and a ridiculous save percentage and a lot of comebacks. We heard them talking about this on Hockey Central at noon. They tempted fate a lot.
Was it 13 third period
13
comebacks?
Third period comebacks or something the year they made the playoffs ahead of the Kings and then beat the Canucks in the first round. And they took they played the Ducks in the second round.
The Canucks, man.
Poor Canucks. Poor Canucks, man.
This is just sad now.
I know.
Although every time Jim Betting speaks, I'm like, oh? What tidbit are you going to drop today, Mr. Betting?
Remember when he said he played the draft lottery like 1,000 times? Didn't help, did it?
Shanahan played it once.
By the way, we made a video about how the draft lottery works for Sportsnet.ca, and the first time we ran the simulator in the video, Leafs got the first pick. Blue Jackets got the second pick. Jets got the third.
Oh, wow.
We were so close.
Wow.
We were so close.
That's funny.
Does Boudreau sign with Calgary?
I wonder.
That has to be it.
I wonder if that is part of the reason that he was fired now. Now, they mentioned on Hockey Central that part of the reason this happened right now is Treliving is going to Europe for the World Hockey Championship. So that makes sense. But I can't ignore the fact that Boudreau was fired, 4 days ago?
Yeah, and now he did say in the press conference today, whether this matters or not, this is not about someone being in the on-deck circle.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. You know what's weird about you saying that is it doesn't make it true or false.
Well, if you fire a head coach, someone's in the bloody on-deck circle. You have someone in mind.
We fired this person with no plan, no backup plan whatsoever.
You better freaking hope an NHL franchise has got someone ready to step in. You better hope they have a plan.
You jump out of an airplane. Where's your parachute?
It's not about my parachute being in the on-deck circle.
It's not about...
Bad flipping over there. My bad flipping parachute.
And then does Bob Hartley sign with Ottawa?
Oh.
Ooh. That would be so Ottawa.
Oh,
but
that's why it might happen.
They already reached out to Boudreau, apparently.
Well, if I was Ottawa, I don't know why Ottawa hasn't got him locked down now.
Well, I don't think Ottawa can afford Bruce Boudreau.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Boudreau should be the most expensive coach out there.
But everybody's favorite NHL owner who talks to the media said that they'll spend what they need to spend. You need a guy like Bruce Boudreau. You need a guy.
We spend enough money, and then out of the other side of his mouth, we'll spend what we need to spend. This is why I don't listen, man. This is why I don't listen to what these people have to say. It's just double talk. It's just lip service.
Boudreau said on Sunday night that his voice was hurting because he was on the phone all day talking to NHL teams.
There's 2 teams without a head coach, 3 now. Flames, Minnesota. I believe, and Ottawa.
Everything you own in a box to the left. Is that his lemonade?
I guess so.
Basically, him going, you know what? I was talking to every NHL team.
Brucey with the no hair. I'm sorry. I had to. Jesse's not even laughing. He won't entertain that. Terrible.
I think it was Brian Burke's daughter tweeted a picture of him with his slick back hair, and she just tweeted the caption, Brian with the good hair.
Because someone's got to tell Brian that if he's not going to wear a tie or not tie up his tie, he doesn't need to wear the tie too.
I'm at the point where
There's part of his character.
It's not. Yeah. It doesn't even do anything.
It's Paul Bearer's urn. It's Jake the Snake Roberts' snake. It's Ric Flair's whatever you call that thing, the feathery thing. That's Brian Burke's thing. That's his cheerleader. Is the untied tie on national television. That's his thing. That's just his thing. That's what he does.
Well, we got to go on Sportsnet 590 The Fan. There's lots more to talk about. Download the Steve Dangle podcast on iTunes. Hit us up on SoundCloud or at sportsnet.ca, of course.
Google Music as well.
That's right. Absolutely. Available on Android. Wherever Android devices are downloaded. And does that make sense?
No.
And Panago Pizza sponsors this lovely podcast because Panago Pizza, it's what's on the inside that counts. Boy, did I boot that.
It's okay. You crossed the finish line. We're here now.
Well, there's just so much to handle here right now.
What's that?
I don't know what to get to first. I think this
Letang?
Do we want to talk about Letang? What do you guys think?
Or do we do War Pick first?
War Pick, yeah, and Letang.
All right, so we got...
It's a dirty series. We're at the point where it's starting to get pretty chippy, and we're starting to see what a series with two teams who legitimately don't like each other can bear.
It's pretty entertaining, isn't it? This is, like I said at the beginning of the series, this is the series that NHL fans deserve. Not just talking about, like, you're a fan of a team. NHL fans deserve this series.
Are there no Canadians watching the playoffs anymore?
Well, you know what? I spoke to someone earlier today, and they're like, I heard your last podcast, and you said everybody watched that Chicago-St. Louis game. I go, yeah. I mean, Twitter was blown up. He's like, they weren't.
Really?
They weren't. And supposedly he's in the know. But... I mean, look, I've said for the longest time, like, okay, let's pretend that's true and ratings are in the dumper. Okay? Let's pretend that. I said for the longest time that the NHL needs to cater to stop worrying about the likes and worry about the loves. This series is for the loves. Mm-hmm. If you love hockey, you really love hockey, you're watching this. If you kind of like the Leafs or you kind of like the Canucks, yeah. Okay, well then Pittsburgh, Washington isn't for you. Chicago, St. Louis isn't for you. But this is for the hardcores. So hardcores, who I assume are all the people listening to this show, because you're wasting your time listening to a hockey show.
You're watching.
This is for you. You're watching.
So let's talk about Brooks Orpik.
Dirty.
3 games.
3 games in the playoffs, which equates to 6 games in the regular season.
Also key factor. He Brooks Orpik.
Mm-hmm.
There's a history there, you're saying?
No, he's Brooks Orpik. Not an incredibly important part of that team. No, look. Okay.
Former Pittsburgh Penguin.
You want Brooks Orpik or you want Crystal Tang?
Crystal Tang.
Every single time.
And by the way, where did Matt Niskanen come from? What team did he come from?
Penguins. Wait, what team is he? No, he's on the Caps. Yeah, Orpik and Niskanen both left at the same...
Yeah. So it was same-ish time. I think it was maybe consecutive seasons.
I think it might have even been the same summer. It might have been consecutive seasons. I'm not sure. But I wonder if Letang gets the superstar discount. I also... Was what Letang did as bad? That was as bad as... Well, and he also... Didn't he get away with one a little bit in round 1?
I think he did.
Against the Rangers. Mm-hmm. But they don't consider that when it comes to punishment, which get out of my face.
I think he very clearly hit him in the head.
There's a little hop he does at the end.
Yeah.
Too, where he's clearly in the air.
Yeah.
The hop is hard because, like, isn't it... Now, help me remember the rules, though. Is it you can't be off your feet when you make contact, or you can leave your feet after you make contact? I'm pretty sure you're allowed to leave after contact, right? Because what Braden Shen was doing was just Superman into guys. Whereas, I don't know, did Letang make contact before or after? I don't know here. I just wonder if he gets the superstar discount.
I wonder too.
Dude,
that's tinfoil hattie, though. I mean,
it is tinfoil hattie, but do you think, okay.
Has Letang been suspended yet? Is that officially announced? No.
not yet.
No.
So we don't even know if he will be.
By the time this is up, yeah, probably.
And do you think he gets one game?
Might get 2. You can't give him more pick 3, I don't think. Again, he's Chris Letang. Now, I always bring up this year for some reason, I guess because I was just so invested in it, but remember how big Kevin Bieksa was for the Canucks? Mm-hmm. If he drills Nathan Horton, does he get 4 games in the Stanley Cup final?
I don't think so.
Absolutely not. You can give 4 games to Aaron Rome. Can't give 4 games to Kevin Bieksa.
No.
Or Dan Hamhuis, or I'm trying to think, it was Alex Edler on the team at the time, or Christian Ehrhoff. Almost any other Canuck defenseman.
That's the one.
I can't remember which one was and wasn't hurt, because everyone was hurt that year. Let's pretend Henrik Sedin was the one who cranks Nathan Horton. You don't give Henrik Sedin 4 games. You're handing the Bruins the cup.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, I think it's really interesting that Letang, the Penguins are up 2-1. Mm-hmm. Letang is out. Letang possibly is out. We don't know.
Maybe not even.
We don't know.
Watch him get 4.
Yeah, really. It'd be crazy.
Can you imagine the rest of the series?
So,
wow.
Now, first off, I could have never envisioned a reality where we got Caps and Pens, because that just would have seemed too good to be true, and that the Pens would be up. The way Washington rolled all year, they just rolled over teams.
Matt Murray, my friend.
Matt Murray. And that brings up another interesting thing, because at the end of the season, Matt Murray playing like Matt Murray's playing, I believe that makes someone else expendable. I mean, for a team that has cap issues?
I saw a report today before I came to the show. The Leafs are interested in Matt Murray. I'm like, well, yeah. The Leafs are interested in Steven Stamkos. No way.
Sidney Crosby,
I'm interested in $1 million. I'm interested in a tub of ice cream right in front of me right now with a pizza. Oh, it's not there. Darn it. Well, I tried. Maybe if I keep my eyes closed long enough, one will just appear in front of me. Dude, how many times do we got to go through this? Of course they're interested. Here's breaking. Professional hockey team interested in good player. Good, young, inexpensive player. No way! You don't say! That would be unbelievable. The Leafs are interested in Matt Murray. But you know who I think I can compare the Penguins to a little bit? Is Wolverine. There's something about them. First of all, Wolverine, badass as fuck. Just such a badass X-Man. The best one. Yeah, I said it. That's not true. But whatever, he's badass. Identifiable. The face of the franchise, you could say.
You might say that.
When it comes to the NHL. Plus, he wears yellow a lot. Anyway. But when you lay a beating on Wolverine, what happens? Heals right back up. There's something about the Penguins that no matter what part clumps and falls off of them, Oli Mata, clump. Chris Letang, clump. Okay, he might matter a little bit more. And Evgeny Malkin was hurt for a while, clump. It just regenerates and they keep trucking at you with... They got those daggers on their hands. It could be Crosby, Letang, Malkin.
Kessel.
It could be Kessel, Crosby, throw out another name, Letang. It could be Murray, Kessel, Crosby. It could be, they just keep trucking. They keep trucking.
Can you imagine that the Washington Capitals, can you imagine a reality where the Washington Capitals don't win this series?
Yeah, they're already 2 losses away from losing it.
The tremendous, can you imagine? Because Washington Capitals are a second-round pick. Or they're a second-round pick. They're a second-round team. The last few years, I believe, they've made the second round and not won. And last year,
last year they were up 3-1. Mm-hmm. Hilarious.
Now, we could be having a completely different discussion in 2 days when we do this podcast again.
Next week is going to look very interesting.
But my God, if the Caps do not win this series.
And what's stupid about that is they won the President's Trophy. They're in a great place as far as, look at their team. Look at their freaking team. Look at their core pieces. They're in a great place. And what are they going to do? Probably big changes. Meanwhile, they could go with the exact same squad last year
And be great.
And be great and have the same chance of winning. That's the playoffs, man. That's the playoffs.
How much do we care that the two best teams in both conferences are playing in the second round? We're having 1 and 2 versus 1 and 2 in both rounds.
I kind of like that.
It's the playoffs, man.
I mean, it's, you know what? We've gotten a lot of Cinderella stories sort of lately. You know, like it starts with the Kings in 2011, who came in and was it 7th?
That was ridiculous. Dude, they were 11th at the trade deadline.
Yeah.
Something like that.
And not that they weren't a good team, they were an underperforming team, but they were a bit of a Cinderella story. And I think...
You know what they reminded me of a little bit? The Blue Jays. All the numbers said they should have been better than they were. They bought anyway.
Yeah.
And then, holy smokes, they just started ruining everybody.
Absolutely. I like sometimes when it's rock'em sock'em robots, when it's the big boys, all the big boys are in and all the little guys are out. Like I'm no offense to Wild fans, but I'm okay with the Wild not being in there because I think that storyline's a little tired in the NHL. I want to see some freaking Titans go at it, and we lost some Titans in the first round. I want to see two trains going at the exact same speed, both like an unstoppable force and an unmovable object. I want to see big for the Stanley Cup final and really for the conference finals
But
too.
then next round you have the best team versus the worst team. You have 1 versus 4.
Yeah.
So you don't have the big boys.
But then once you get to the final, though. Now, I'll tell you what I feel way better about, though, than I did like last show. Caps and Penguins are tearing each other apart. Just tearing each other apart. Lightning and Islanders kind of doing the same. And that series I think is going to get way chippier.
It's a fun series.
Way chippier.
God,
it is fun. It is fun. I don't
Young teams.
I think
Ooh.
Jesse isn't playing. I don't think they're necessarily the best. I kind of agree. I don't think either of those teams beats Pittsburgh or Washington in a series, but maybe by the time they meet each other, they do. You know, is the weird thing about the playoffs. Dallas is giving St. Louis a way harder run than I thought they would. And that game is 1-1 right now. Or that series is 1-1 right now. And look who is sitting pretty up 2-0 on the Preds.
Who's that?
San Jose Sharks. San Jose Sharks, man. I'm telling you. This might be it. This might be it. I'm just throwing it out there that they look so strong in round 1. And if they get out of round 2 relatively unscathed, look out. Look out. I'll bring it up again. I don't know why I keep bringing it up, but I'm going to keep bringing it up. The Canucks probably win the Cup in 2011 if they complete the sweep of the Blackhawks. Remember when they were up 3-0? Remember when they were up 3-0? And they had to win that thing in overtime of Game 7.
It could have been over right there for them.
You get out of round 1 unscathed. You have a cup of tea against the Predators in round 2. Dude. But this is what I'm saying. I think, we're seeing all these Clash of the Titans series, and it's great, and it's wonderful for us as hockey fans. But I think if you're an NHL team in the thick of it, you're not so interested in that. The Sharks, to this point, watch them lose 4 straight. They easily could, but to this point... And have.
Same team. I mean...
so dry, so true.
There's a track record there. I mean, we can't say that there's not.
It's a good time to be the San Jose Sharks, put it that way. And they haven't even used their starting goaltender yet.
Does Todd McClellan hate this a little bit right now? Does Todd McClellan just hate this a little bit? Because he's like, not only are they this far, but I got to live in Edmonton.
Look at the leadership of Joe Thornton
Edmonton.
and Todd McClellan just watching. Fuck you. Shut up.
You damn people with your beards and your success.
Holy smokes.
Truly, there are always going to be teams like the San Jose Sharks to this point, all right, where there are great teams that just never did it. Great teams that just never did it. And I think Todd McClellan, unfortunately, was the easiest piece to remove from that puzzle. But Todd McClellan could just as easily be a coach with 3 Stanley Cup rings right now. I mean, they've always been a great team, and they were a great team when all the California teams were great.
Mm-hmm. A friend of mine who is now an analytics person for an NHL team once asked me, I can't remember if it was a question or a statement. I think what he said was the best team in the NHL rarely wins the Stanley Cup.
I think that's fair. Yeah.
Because the playoffs are just a different monstrosity.
Beast. It's
a different
mental.
monstrosity.
It's physical. It's your matchups. It's how the series before went.
This is the second time for the Blues in less than 20 years that they've looked like one of the top 3 teams in the NHL. And like for a stretch of time, and might not be able to get it done. Now it's starting to look like it's Washington again. It was the Sharks for a while. It was the Canucks for a while.
By the way,
it keeps happening.
We talk about teams that have had futility. The St. Louis Blues have literally pretty much always been good. They made the playoffs for like 30 straight years.
Something like that.
So I think it was 29. And then they missed for a few years, and then they came back and are the Blues that we're seeing today. So the majority, like I think it's like 80% of the years that they've played in the NHL, they've made the finals. Or not made the finals, made the playoffs.
Can you imagine?
Yeah, that'd be crazy.
4 out of every 5 years, lose.
But they have not won a cup since their inception in 1968.
Haven't won a single one. Their drought is as long
starving.
as the Leafs.
Starving for cups like we are over here. Only they're in a little bit of shape right now. At the moment.
They don't have Matthews.
They sure don't. They got that Tarasenko guy. Whatever. He's whatever.
He's a bum.
He's whatever.
He's a bum.
I have his jersey, but whatever.
He doesn't even play on the power play sometimes. He's a bum.
I hate that. You're that good and you don't have to play Tarasenko on the power play. Like, screw you, man. Screw you.
Yeah, you know who else hates it? Tarasenko.
Yeah, because Tarasenko should be playing. So I don't
even remember where that rant started.
I want to switch gears a little bit. Can we do a little vintage dangles? Jesse, do you want to do a little vintage dangle?
Let's do it.
All right. So Steve was tweeting these videos out the other day. I don't know, what was it? You were going through all your old videos, right, to monetize them?
No, yeah. So what happened was I did an agreement with SB Nation a while ago, which is through Vox Media somehow. I didn't properly understand it, which is part of the reason why I wanted to cancel it. Exactly. They were basically like, well, we can offer you more something CPM. And I was like, you know what? I just want this to all be mine.
Yeah.
You know what? And I had 99.9% control, and they never really told me what to do with my channel or anything. But there's something to be said for it's mine. It's mine.
Yeah.
And they tried to convince me, like, well, you're going to leave money on the table. I'm like, yeah, but like I'm paying for that extra 0.1%.
Yeah.
I'm okay with, I want this all to be mine. Mine. So I guess, I don't think it was them. I think it's a YouTube thing when they had to take me out of their network. So I'm still a YouTube partner. A lot of people were like, oh, you're not a partner anymore? I'm still a YouTube partner. I'm just not part of that SB Nation network. It unmonetized all... Did you know that I've done about 1,300 videos?
Whoa.
It took away monetization for all of them! Ah!
So you have to go back in and click on each video separately?
No, so what I could do was...
Isn't there a select all button at the top?
Select all, but it's only for each page.
Oh, okay.
1,300 videos is 44 pages.
You have 44 pages of videos.
I have 44 pages of videos. And I couldn't just do select all because some of the videos, like especially the KHL ones I did with Andre, like we use footage and stuff. So like you can't monetize those. So I had to go through it. It took a couple hours.
So my favorite tweet from yesterday is Steve's going through his old videos, and he's like, with this one, he's like, I want to launch myself into the sun. I want to launch my younger self into the sun after this video. And it's the video, Jesse, where Steve Dangle gets Twitter.
Oh.
Do you want to have you seen the video where Steve Dangle gets Twitter?
I've never seen this.
Oh.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I've never seen this.
Oh my God.
All right. So this is
what year is this?
This is 2009, July 24th, 2009.
Oh, you were an early Twitter adopter.
Yeah.
2009.
I've had it since 2009 too.
I remember specifically saying, I think Twitter's a fad.
Wow.
That was 7 years of using Twitter ago.
Nailed that one.
So
nailed it.
Actually,
I'm not going to use Snapchat. Nailed it.
Funny that you say that. Funny that it's July 24th, 2009, because Steve, I also joined Twitter in July 2009. Says on my profile.
Who knows?
Like,
you might have even been the one who was like, use it, stupid. Or the other way around. Who knows?
Anyway, so here's what Steve had to say. The big announcement on Steve's YouTube channel,
Jesse,
which, by the way...
You got to see it, too. You got to see the comedic effect I'm going for.
Let's see it from here.
Okay.
Go around.
Yeah, come see it. Come here. Come see it.
Oh, yeah, it is. Be the Beatles on the mic. Oh, God. Ah!
All right.
This is like going up a roller coaster for me.
Oh, okay. Ready?
Except at the bottom is embarrassment.
Okay, one more tweet. I'm going to the store, buying pea soup. What's up, insert peeps? Just started record telling the Insta peeps to follow me on Twitter. ROFLcopter.
Hold on, just for a minute. ROFLcopter used to be a thing we said. ROFLcopter used to be a thing that we said. That Steve said. Okay? So now let's continue. We've got 28 more seconds of this, and we're only 20 seconds in.
Why is there 28?
Wouldn't it be cool if there were actually something called the ROFLcopter?
Shut the fuck up! No one likes you!
Because, like, the propeller wings could be made of, like, laughter, and you would just bring joy to wherever you went. Cool.
Where are you going in these videos?
And a velociraptor could be your co-pilot.
Good idea.
Go to Russia and pick up Ovechkin.
Hold on, you just missed the part where he said a velociraptor could be your co-pilot.
Co-pilot, and you could go to Russia and pick up Ovechkin and just be like, where the party at, Ovechkin? I'm in my ROFLcopter. Oh, I'm over the character cam. Link in the description. Add me on Twitter. Bye.
Do you remember the pea soup that you ate that night? Also, you know what's great about this? Yeah. Is that Steve had been doing YouTube for a while.
Okay? Yeah, like 2 years.
So how old do you think, and Steve, do not answer this, how old do you think Steve was in this video? Just throw a number. From his looks.
I kind of know. You're 21?
21 years old.
Old enough to know
Nailed
I was
it.
an unfunny piece of shit.
21 years old. That was actually, I think that was the week I started at Kiss 92.5 for the first time. That was the same week.
That might have been, yeah.
Why did you think that going away from the camera and then coming back
Is
was
this
a good
before you
idea?
introduced jump cuts?
No, this was, yeah, so Mrs. Dangle was also very confused by that. She's like, is this your version of jump cuts, you idiot? And no, what that was me trying to send a tweet and then leaving my desktop and then being like, but I gotta send another tweet. And then leaving again and, oh, Jesse just cringed! No! Ah! That's not even the worst. Like,
You weren't the brightest lad at 21.
no, I wasn't. Oh, dude, like, this is why I try not to, like, flame people too hard when they say nasty things or whatever to me on Twitter or whatever, when they look young, because, like, I wouldn't have even been friends with that incarnation of me.
No.
And that was me. Mrs. Dangle was ripping on me. I'm like, you dated that person for 2 years. You started dating me when I was 2 years douchier than that. Oh, my God. Oh, my dear, sweet God.
And so many people, like, you laugh at Steve, but you look at the comments on this video, so many people are writing ROFLcopter. And then it goes soy, 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 soy. I don't know why.
I have no
ROFLcopter goes soy, soy, soy. That's what several people have written that. And then there was one guy. Did you delete the comment with the guy calling you a pedo too?
What?
Yeah, there was a comment on there. And I looked at it yesterday. I can't see it today. I wonder if it's gone. But it was like, Steve Dangle, you are a pedo. And it was like something weird. Like, I want to feed you your genitals or something like that. It was really freaking strange.
I used to get fucked up comments.
Really? Yeah, it was a messed up comment. I was like, how is this? Really? Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I was thinking, I'm like, geez, even back then, when it was all so fresh and so new, people were still commenting idiotic stuff like that. Anyway.
The good thing is that you don't suck now.
Oh, thanks, Jesse.
And the good
that's
thing,
nice.
And the good thing is, like Jesse said, you don't suck now, and you don't suck as badly as this TV anchor. His name is Dan Phillips. He used to work for WZTV for Fox.
Used to.
And he decided to do a sports report tribute to Prince. Have a listen.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through this thing called life. An electric word, life, but I'm here to tell you there's something else. The NHL playoffs. So when you call up that shrink in Beverly Hills, you know the one. Doctor, everything gonna be all right? Don't expect an answer because he or she is probably checking out Game 4 of the Ducks and Predators. Let's go crazy, Smashville. Let's get nuts. Nope. Instead, Ryan Getzlaf is gonna tuck the loose puck between Pekarine's legs to give Anaheim a 1-0 lead just 62 seconds in. It stayed that way until midway through the second period.
Oh my
this
God.
is what it sounds like when doves cry and...
Adam, this is Scrody McBoogerballs from South Park. Like seeing how long you can get through the book before throwing up. I'm gonna fucking Ralph. Oh my god.
Can we keep going?
Keep going.
Then it stayed that way until midway through the second period. This is what it sounds like when doves cry and when Mike Fisher scores. His first goal of the playoffs ties it up.
Steve walked out.
But
Get him back in. Get him back in.
After that, it's
Get him back
2-1.
in. You got to hear the rest of this. You got to hear. No, you have to keep going. You have to keep going.
Oh,
Ducks
is
when
this the
Jamie
Boom Goes the
McGill
Dynamite
plays
guy's dad?
Just.
Oh my god.
You keep going, okay? You gotta keep listening to this, okay?
Oh, the playoffs ties it up. But it was all downhill after that. It's 2-1 Ducks when Jamie McGill plays party man for the second straight game, batting the puck out of the air and into the net. That makes it 3-1, and the clock hits 0-0. Party over. Oops, out of time. It's the Ducks who are going to party like it's 1999. Anaheim evens the series with a 4-1 victory. So the Ducks are still 2 games from dying for you. And Saturday at the Honda Center in Anaheim. I'm pretty sure that's on Alphabet
All right. You gotta hear that again. You gotta hear that whole thing. Listen to this, okay?
3. So the Ducks are still 2 games from dying for you and the Predators. Game 5 is set for Saturday at the Honda Center in Anaheim. I'm pretty sure that's on Alphabet Street. From one hot
Alphabet Street is a Prince song, by the way.
Yeah,
you didn't know that.
I figured that.
This guy seems to have a history of being ridiculous. And
does he? Okay,
yes.
so let me before you get to his history.
Okay.
He was fired after this.
Seriously?
Yeah. Now we're a minute 30 through a 4 minute and 20-second segment.
No. Now
so
wait though, why
that
is
kept
he
going.
fired?
Well, that was the thing. I guess they had listeners, and this is according to his Facebook page. They said it wasn't the station, and a bunch of listeners or viewers thought it was in poor taste. It wasn't a tribute. Come
on.
Now I don't think it was a tribute. I think it was kind of like capitalizing on a dude dying. I mean, I really do.
Really?
I don't think that was well done. I don't think that is.
It certainly wasn't well done.
And
I'll throw that out there.
whoever the producer was that said, okay, do it, should probably also be like, they should be questioning that guy's judgment, I think. Because you can't, when you're doing something like that, it's one thing to do it
when
with
you
a
talk
movie.
for 4.5 minutes straight, it's kind of not all the host's fault.
Well, no, it's probably totally the host's fault. It probably was
but
him.
I mean, like,
there's a team there.
There's a team. There is a team and like a decision-making team, not just the camera guy. Like that person shouldn't have to pay.
No, absolutely not. But that is not a tribute. That's not a tribute. That's a guy using a bunch of song names that he Googled.
I think it's a terrible attempt at one. But I don't think the guy should be fired for the attempt.
They're saying.
Okay, what are they saying?
He was fired also because of his conduct on Facebook Live. So he does a segment where he answers questions from listeners from a fishbowl. And then one of the other reporters walked in the room and he reportedly yelled, "You better not fucking come into my office with that." And then he proceeded to repeatedly yell on Facebook Live, "Fuck you, fuck you." I fucking told her that would happen if she came into my office.
Oh, wow.
So
it has nothing to do with the
it was after this event.
They said the meltdown led to Phillips's firing.
Yeah, it sounds like he had a fucking
if you ask,
meltdown on a coworker, then he got bad publicity for a poorly executed piece of.
See, now
he
shared this on his Facebook page, and he said this was the reason. He said, "First of all, I want to thank everybody for the kind words, comments, the tribute for Prince I did last week. Unfortunately, there were apparently some viewers as well as management at the station who did not feel the same way. They felt it insensitive, and as a result, I was terminated today."
Yeah, and then the report today said a source told Deadspin that he was fired because of his Facebook Live and is not his Facebook report.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a combination.
It's a combination.
If you are like an idiot. If you're the manager.
For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
But he's an idiot.
If you're a manager of Fox 17 in, is it East Lansing?
You saw my reaction and repulsion to what he did, but like,
it's from Nashville. If you
I don't think it was that. I don't think it was a fireable offense.
It's overall.
But no.
Stupid.
If you have a guy who makes decisions like that, you're a Nashville television station. You're a legitimate, huge market.
It must have been done. So you said he's done a bunch of these?
Big market.
He's done a bunch of these?
There has to be things before. But you cannot, I agree that you cannot fire a guy
This
based
guy must
on that
be a
alone.
chode. Like, he must
Can
be
you
hard to
fire
work
based on the Facebook Live video?
Yes.
Well,
then there you go.
Yeah, no,
Then
I think
there's
so.
something.
Yeah,
And
because you're
also-
making the brand look bad at that
If
point.
he's going to have that kind of tirade on Facebook Live, like, imagine how he is behind the scenes. I like to think that
Maybe he was joking. I haven't seen the Facebook Live video.
Yeah, they said it was deleted. So.
I don't like. I appreciate attempts at comedy. Okay, I appreciate attempts at making people feel good, making them feel a certain way. That's an attempt.
You think that's an attempt?
It's a terrible attempt. It's a never in a million years would I make that attempt, especially at his age. Holy shit, at least I was 21 when I was being a douchebag, talking about Twitter and all that. That guy's probably in his late 30s, early 40s, something like that. But I think he was trying to make people feel a certain way. Like, come on.
What was he trying to make them feel, Steve?
I don't know.
What could you possibly make someone feel except for, that is so awkward, I want to bury my head in sand? I would rather eat dirt than watch that clip again.
Oh, totally. And can you get fired for just being bad?
Yes.
Probably right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
for sure.
I don't think. I
Like,
don't know. I
if I'm
have a hard
stationed-
time believing like that was so insensitive.
If
that
I
he
am
deserved
no,
to be
I
fired.
I think that's probably a reason that they use. But if I'm station management and one of my on-air people is making decisions like that, I'm looking for reasons.
Yeah, there you go. So I think we're getting to the bottom of it here. And also, I mean, saying fuck you.
Also saying fuck you to a coworker on Facebook Live.
Saying don't fucking bring that shit in
There
here.
are people.
Can you imagine that voice, by the way? Alphabet Street. Don't fucking bring that in here. I want to see this video now.
They said it's deleted, so they don't have a copy of it.
Oh, bullshit. It was on the internet.
Yeah, somebody has it.
Yeah.
Somebody has
Oh, God. Oh,
And I bet it was said in a joking manner. But again, I think they're probably looking. I mean,
It was an attempt.
no, not that. I bet the Facebook Live thing was probably a joke too. But it doesn't matter.
You know, guys.
No, that doesn't matter.
I guess it's just a sign of the times. That's why you get fired.
Let's just let that hang in the air for a moment. Do you want to hear something good now? I got some great audio.
See, did this tribute continue into the baseball highlights? Because that would have been a really good opportunity to use the bat dance.
Yes, and I'm not going to even play it.
Oh, thank
yeah,
God.
no. But I do want to play something that was tweeted by Steve, actually, when the Marlies were in Bridgeport. Check this out. So it says, Willie, say hi to Steve Dangle. Check it out.
Someone screamed this at William Nylander.
That's cool.
That was sent to me from my friend Cassandra, who works at Leafs TV. 'Cause I saw the clip of them getting off the ice, but I couldn't hear it. So I guess she was the only one who had a recording of it. So to whoever that was, thanks. It's pretty
Where was
weird.
the game?
Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Wow.
That's pretty neat.
That's cool.
And by the way, what are the odds that the show would have a fan in Bridgeport, Connecticut? 2, what are the odds that it was one of the 300 people there? Dude, no one was at the Bridgeport Sound Tigers games. It was kind of sad.
Yeah.
It's kind of sad. But Rico was rocking for game 3.
Sure was.
And round 2 starts tomorrow.
Remember, you can
Albany Devils.
use that Steve Dangle promo code.
Oh, that's right.
You save up to 30% on tickets with the Marlies.
Someone messaged me the other day. They bought tickets for their whole family. They saved $35.
There you go.
Which is that's a ticket in itself.
Which you can then spend on beer and hot dogs.
There you go. There you
Or juice boxes. I'm sure they sell juice boxes too.
They have noodles. They sell
have
noodles?
noodles
that you can put like sriracha on.
Get out, really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Damn.
We should have got that when we were there.
Yeah, why did we not get that?
Why not use your savings to get Panago before you go in?
Hey, by the way, you know what's been fun about the Marlies thing?
They're good.
Have we mentioned this before? The outcry. Yeah, I think we did last podcast. The outcry from media used to following the Leafs getting upset about the Marlies not allowing them in the dressing room.
I don't know how much I can talk about that.
I know that, but all I will say,
you can talk about it.
All I will say is this: it's been a rule since 2011,
It's been a rule for very
and that's
long
all I'm
time.
going to say. We'll leave it at that. Shall we do the press conference? Or did you want to say
This
something?
individual was also shocked that they couldn't talk to the general manager of the Toronto Marlies / assistant general manager of the Toronto Maple Leafs during the first intermission of a fucking playoff game. Fucking duh! Oh my, sorry, that blew my, I was mortified.
So how much would you want to say on that?
Oh, not much.
Press conference, let's do it.
2017, NBA confirmed they're going to throw some ads on the jerseys. Rowan wants to know what you guys think. Is the NHL going to do it?
Wait, sorry, that's the NBA?
The NBA.
Yes. Yeah.
And what do you think?
Whatever. They've been doing it. I mean, remember when Nike had that big deal with the NHL in the 90s? It was like, well, there's going to be a swoosh there instead of CCM, which is a Canadian company. And I'm really upset about that. I was going to take the Canada out of the game.
Yeah, I think now there's going to be a Honda Civic logo.
No,
on Sidney Crosby's jersey.
Everyone thinks that all NHL jerseys are going to turn into, ridiculous Spengler Cup friggin'
NASCARs.
Stickers all over everything, NASCARs, ads up and down all the sleeves. I don't think it's going to be like that. Dude, a lot of AHL teams have advertising on their jerseys. I never hear any AHL fans ever complain about it. Like, if it's small and it's subtle and it's like one brand, I'm okay with one brand. When it's, okay, we're going to have 2, 3, 4, 5. But, like, not many teams in this league turn a profit, guys. Do you hate lockouts or not? Yeah, but the jersey's sacred to me. Okay, cool. Well, what are you? I guess you're cool with that jersey not playing games once every 6 to 8 years.
Listen, I'm against it. God's against it.
You're against it.
And if you got any sense, you're against it.
I am not against it. I'm for it.
I'm not against it, actually. You know what? It's funny. I was against it, and it was one of our listeners that swayed me. They're like, yeah, you ever watch Premier League? And I was like, yeah, I do.
Yeah.
They're like,
Manchester United.
You ever seen Vodafone on the, like, literally?
I used to think Manchester United. I used to think their logo was they were. I was like, what's Vodafone? I remember being like, oh, that's probably something in another language. I'm like, but they play in England. Like, I remember being so confused.
What's amazing about Premier League is that first of all, the money is just astronomical that league brings in. It's just crazy. And yes, we'll talk about Leicester City quickly, soccer fans, because I think that's important to talk about. Yeah. But what's amazing is that the ads on their jerseys are about 10 times the size of the actual logo of the team.
Logo. It is the logo.
Like, there's like a little patch. It's like, oh yeah, by the way, we're Man U. By the way, we're Tottenham. Like, that's... So I don't
want it replacing the logo. That to me is ridiculous.
And the Finnish way of doing it looks like a NASCAR. Like, have you seen any Patrick Laine?
And the ads are all over the ice.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a capitalist society and it's a capitalist game. The whole point is to make money. Point is not to win the cup for the NHL. Point's to make money. So it's going to happen, and it's going to be fine, and people are going to be upset about it, and they're still going to watch, and who the hell cares? It's another thing for people to get distracted by.
You know that song, Wish We Could Turn Back Time to the Good Old Days?
Yeah. Stressed Out from 21 Pilots.
I hate that song.
Me too.
I fucking hate that
Wake
song.
up, you need to make money. Yeah.
Yeah, you do. Dick.
Yeah, you can't sit on your ass and smoke weed all day.
What do you mean I gotta do shit?
I just wish that my mom used to... I wish I could go back to when I didn't have to do stuff and I could play pretend with my friends.
Yeah.
How do you think you got to do that? Because your mom was working.
I know.
I know. Maybe it's time that you worked for your mother and put her in a good house. Maybe buy your mother a house. She bought you one.
Second question. This is for Adam Wilde.
No, I think we were making a point with that.
Can we make a point here?
Do you want to make that point?
Look, in a perfect world,
nobody has to work.
Nobody has to work. In a perfect world, nobody even has to. Why do we have commercials during games?
Right?
I don't like commercials.
Screw commercials, Steven.
Screw commercials. How come every time I watch a video, there's got to be an ad before it? How come my favorite hockey team has to wear a logo on a company logo on their jersey? And how come they don't win the Stanley Cup every year?
And
guess what?
Competition and money.
The way of the world, man.
Yeah.
It's the way of the world.
And beyond that...
It's not perfect. I don't love it. But
I read so many articles from like Thought Catalog and Elite Daily and stuff, looking for prep for Kiss. And what'll happen is that people are like, you spend so much time enslaved. You're enslaved.
Yeah, man.
To companies. You're enslaved.
Totally.
Listen, you have the option to start your own company. Yeah. You have the option to never work a day in your life. I don't know how you plan on feeding yourself, but you have that option. And I just, as a philosophical thing, having to work hard is admirable. It's when I see these articles, I'm like, are you people crazy? And it's like, we want to get back to the way humanity should have been. The humanity that when people lived till they were 25 years old and had to hunt their whole lives and got mauled by bears. I don't know. I don't mind the reality we're living in.
Make America great again. What are you talking about? So sorry. Before we get to the next thing, Jesse, this is important that we talk to the young people who we were just lambasted for not working hard enough.
Oh, we're not saying that. We're not saying that. We're just saying 21 Pilots. Bro.
Is that even the name of the band?
Yeah.
Gives a shit.
There's 21 of them.
So at It's Tony Now tweeted, here's the most insane unpaid internship of all time. And I feel like I need to bring this up because we beat the drum. Intern. You need to intern.
Yep.
You got to work for free sometimes. You know, it sucks. Deal with it. Hey, man, there's paid internships out there. This is an example of an unpaid internship I would encourage you to never take in your life. You'd be the play-by-play / media relations person for the Madison Mallards baseball. I don't know who the Madison Mallards. Jesse, could you look that up?
Yeah.
While I read this incredible list. So again, this is an unpaid internship, guys. The Madison Mallards are looking for an enthusiastic and ambitious individual to join the front office as the radio broadcaster. That sounds appealing. Tell me more. This position will manage all day-to-day media relations duties and act as the traveling secretary on all road trips. This is a seasonal position, beginning in May 2016 and ending in mid-August. This position is unpaid. The candidate will serve as the full-time radio broadcaster, traveling with the team during the season.
That could be fun.
Oh, yeah, totally. Duties and responsibilities include, but are not limited to, write press releases promoting team initiatives, including post-game recaps for the team website. First of all, I'm not even sure you should do that for free.
No.
Yeah, that takes a long time.
That's a PR degree.
Yeah, like anytime I had to write the post games for LeafsNation.com back in the day, dude, I hate it. I hated it. I was like, I'd rather do a video or something. Coordinate all aspects of team travel, including notifying restaurants, hotels, and other teams, getting team orders, room assignments, etc. Broadcast all 72 Northwoods Leagues games
in 4 months
on 1670 the zone, including pre and post game shows.
Oh my
by the way,
God!
But okay,
and you're taking your own
pre-game
phone
show
calls.
is probably an hour.
Yeah.
Post game show is probably an hour.
And you're taking phone calls, and you're taking them without a producer.
And then the baseball game is 3 hours. So game days, it's 5 hours, just the broadcast, not including any of the other shit I just mentioned or am about to mention. Including pregame shows, blah, 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 during the regular season and playoffs if necessary. Fucking, if these are the kind of things you're putting out, I don't think you're a playoff team. But I don't know much about you. Ability to work long hours, including weekends, as business indicates.
I guess.
No shit.
I guess.
Strong written and verbal communication skills. Produce radio commercials for the Mallards and business partners.
Wow.
You're an imaging producer now?
Do you know how? Let me tell you something. I've been in radio 10 years. You have no idea how difficult it is to put together a commercial.
That shit takes all the...
Yeah, but you also got to do play-by-play.
There are guys here who do commercials, okay? We literally have producers here who just do commercials, and they will spend all morning on one half of one.
Oh, yeah.
Because they have to be good.
Those 15-second little shoes, that takes forever. Produce radio commercial. Okay, I said that one. Work closely with the GM and corporate service team to include all sponsor and promotional live reads, each game update. The Mallards...
Oh, my God.
Wait. Each game... They screwed up here. Live reads each game. Update the Mallards website daily.
You're also the IT guy.
And then the last star, which might be the icing on the cake, other duties as assigned by general manager. How many jobs did I just list?
Okay.
How many fuck duties? How many full and part-time jobs did I just list?
3 full, 1 part-time.
PR, IT, play-by-play.
And a
travel assistant.
Not IT, really like a digital content producer.
I'll play devil's advocate on these because you should have multiple skills. You know, for example, when I was an intern at the Fan, I did audio editing and I did a little bit of reporting and I did a teeny bit of writing and I did some coffee fetching and whatever. By the way, that was 2 evenings a week, which I think is a reasonable commitment. That's a reasonable commitment. And Leafs TV, I was there a lot more, but it was a paid internship.
Yeah.
So you got a lot more out of me. I got a lot more out of them. You know? How many... Right? Okay, press releases... Team initiatives. We should get Sasky in to talk about this because a lot of these are duties she would do.
Oh,
and that's a full-time job.
But remember,
she wouldn't update the fucking website. She wouldn't do pre and post game show.
What league? What division are these guys in?
So this is a collegiate summer baseball league.
Well, that's why there's no money.
It's for players who have attended a year of college and still can play in college next season. So it's kind of
a summer league.
College baseball, but in between the summer, I'm going to play.
So the general manager is probably a part-time guy, and
probably.
But the thing about that internship is whoever wrote that is a tool for this reason. Have more than one intern. Have a guy that wants to be in radio. Have a guy girl wants to be radio. Guy girl that wants to be in PR. Guy girl that wants to do digital.
5 internships.
I'm okay with it being unpaid if you split it amongst at least 5 people. Yeah. Have someone do I saw someone tweet like you should never do play-by-play for free. Okay, well, go look at how many play-by-play. Look, I think in a perfect world you're absolutely right.
It's not perfect and you're wrong.
I applied for play-by-play things too, and they're just. I mean, at the professional level, yeah, you're absolutely right. Like you shouldn't do.
You're not doing Blue Jays games.
Yeah,
probably
like
do collegiate summer baseball for free. Play-by-play.
Yeah, like Buffalo Bison, something like that. You should be paid for. Marlies, you should.
But if you're doing the
OHL, you should be paid.
What is it? The Reading Wildcats or whatever the AA team for the Jays is.
Oh, I don't even
like
New Hampshire Fisher Cats.
Yeah, it's the Fisher Cats, and I know that because I'll play MLB The Show and I always make my way up to the ranks. Fisher Cats.
I still haven't played that.
It's a great game. The thing is,
5 jobs.
You have to. Tom Cheek, who was the Blue Jays announcer for, I want to say 37 years, 40 years, something like that. Well, however long the team was, and then he passed.
Over 4,100 games?
Yes, a crazy amount. Tom Cheek started by going to baseball games in his neighborhood and recording himself because he'd sit in the stands and he'd call the game by himself. And he'd sit there with a recorder. And you think about that 40 years ago. To have a recorder, it was tape.
And also imagine what a psycho he must have looked like to other people in the stands.
But he did it. He did that. There is a value to doing things for free. My internship was 8 months, 6 days a week.
If you can afford it.
If you can afford it.
And another argument I've heard is not everyone can afford to do that.
No, and that's fair.
True. That is true.
That is fair. But I think if you can, I think there's got to be a good balance. That's ridiculous. That is ridiculous.
Press releases, initiatives, like that's almost a full job right there. Dude, coordinating team travel. You're doing travel for a fucking baseball team.
Yeah, no, that's nuts. You're booking buses? Are you kidding me?
In restaurants, hotels?
No.
And then getting orders, room assignment, that is a full-time job right there. That's a job. Yeah. That's a job. Or seasonal, I guess, because it's a baseball team and it's not like they need it all year. That's at very least one seasonal job.
I think it was the general manager who probably put that out. That general manager, it's what do you do?
Nothing, apparently.
Like, can you trade in that sort in a summer league division? Probably not.
No, at collegiate?
So so what are you doing, GM?
There's only 14 position players and like a dozen pitchers on the team.
So this is a GM that doesn't want to do any stuff.
The broadcast crew, I mean, for 5 hours a game day, like, throw them at least $50 a game, something like that.
Like, they don't make it like. No, the point is if you don't have the money, which they
fed and pay for the
Steve,
travel,
they probably don't have the money for that. And
$50 a game,
Steve.
Okay,
I can almost guarantee that margins are that tight. I'm sure of it because this is a summer league nothing team. Then don't have all that stuff. Mm-hmm. Then don't have it all.
I got when I was the Steelheads in arena host, I got $30 a game.
Yep.
Which $20 was gas because they play in Mississauga.
Yep. But you did it.
But I did it. But you know what? They didn't have to give me that $30, but I really appreciated that they were like, here's at least getting you here and back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Here's at least getting you here and back. As an intern, like the smallest kindness you got to appreciate every time I see Jack Armstrong on TV calling Raptors games, I'm like, fucking yeah, Jack Armstrong. Because he was the nicest human being. The nicest human being.
I've heard nothing but great things.
Always offered it. He would offer to not just like buy coffees, like let me buy you lunch. Let me buy you a foot-long sub. And I would turn it down. And when I turned it down, he was like he looked like so heartbroken. Like I almost wanted to accept it, like to make him feel better. Like he wants to appreciate those kindnesses.
Well,
this is ridiculous.
That's a crazy internship.
Here's something. How many people do you think they draw a game last season?
Oh fuck!
15,
where
20?
is this?
Madison Mallard.
Is it Madison, Wisconsin? Oh, it's a decently sized
50,
town,
60 people?
15, 16.
No, 50, 60.
10 to 70 people.
6,000 people a game.
Oh, okay. So they're whoa.
Charge them $2.
They're making some money there. Plus the ads in the outfield.
Fucking guys. No, that's horseshit.
They're making money.
6,000. 6,300.
So another thing, like if you're the person who put this job out there, forget the fact that it's unfair. There's no human being that could possibly do a good job at that.
No.
Couldn't possibly. They're going to be distracted calling the games because they're going to be booking hotels the whole time. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So anyway, I felt like I had to bring that up because we beat that drum pretty hard. Look, maybe do an internship for free.
And maybe do it for 6 months.
Do not be taken advantage of. That's ridiculous.
Yep.
That is absolutely ridiculous.
You'll know.
And traveling? Like how far do they travel? I would love to know.
Wow, that's a good question too. Who knows?
That's absolutely ridiculous.
Drawing 6,000 people, that's better than some Jays games in recent years.
Yeah.
Like that's pretty good, man.
No, and the Marlies pay like their whole crew. And that's about an average regular season Marlies game, maybe even good.
Do you want to do the second question?
Yeah, sorry about that. No, I felt because a few people tweeted that at me, and I felt responsible. Like, look.
Nobody's suggesting
I know
that we suggested that.
No, I know that.
Right?
But I just felt like I should.
That should have been a question.
Look.
Nobody was suggesting that that's what we were condoning, correct?
I interned for free for a little bit. Mm-hmm. And I decided, I was like, I am willing to sacrifice this much. Yep. No one should be willing you're sacrificing 6 months of your life. Like forget hanging out with friends and partying. You're not even going to see your parents. For fuck's sake.
Adam.
Yo.
This question is for you. It's from Rogue_Baser.
Rogue Baser.
How do Adam's friends feel when a podcast listener randomly joins their Battlefront game?
So here's what happened. I was playing.
There's a story here.
I didn't know you could do this, but apparently you could join someone's party on PS4 without them accepting you.
Oh yeah,
you just hop in.
Oh yeah,
which is ridiculous.
I learned that the hard way. Isn't that the stupidest thing?
That's about the dumbest
Xbox
thing.
Is the same.
Now, he happened to be great. Bush BR89.
I played with him last night.
Yeah, he happened to be a really nice guy.
I played gel with him last night.
But I was kind of taken aback. It was a little bit forward. I'm not gonna lie. And my friends were like, "What the hell is going on here?" So I'm thinking that we're gonna have to figure something out there. Like,
no, there's settings you can change.
You can?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
No, because no offense, but
I want to listen.
Not to sound cocky, but I would just get people talking in my ear every 2 seconds.
Dad!
It was, Dangle! Let me chill!
We were playing, and I was like, thank God this guy is a good guy.
Oh yeah.
Because honestly, had he been some crazy dude, I would have been like, my friends would have been like, what the hell is the matter with you? And we're never playing with you again. But they were all like, wow, that was cool. How did that happen? And because none of us knew that was a thing. So he happened to be great, but that's what happened, man. It's the craziest thing. Oh my God. But yeah, I mean, whatever. I've been wanting to play. The thing is that I haven't a lot of time to play our listeners at anything recently. So I would like to jump on and start doing that a little bit more often.
Samesies.
Yeah. Life's busy, man. It gets really freaking busy.
In honor of first overall pick, we should mimico Auston Matthews' name for waffles or bust.
Auston Matthews. Auston Matthews. By the way,
is he Austin though?
If Auston Matthews is in town, is it no longer Marn's Barn? I mean, And by the way, you hated that the first time I brought it up. I love that now you're considering it.
Still do.
People still tweet it at me whenever they
Who's the biggest star on the team? Marner, Nylander, or Matthews?
Ooh.
Or Riley, or Kadri?
Well, it won't be Kadri.
No.
Riley could be.
I feel like, don't you almost feel relieved that Matthews is going to take some pressure off?
Nylander?
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, this is...
and Marner.
Yeah.
And Marner, like, because Marner was going to have a ton of pressure put on him next season.
And now people are like, distracted by shiny thing.
I know. And you got guys like me going, he needs to have the best off season of anyone in the Leafs organization.
He does.
You said that.
Lou Lamoriello said
I
that.
meant it. I still mean it.
Lou Lamoriello said the same thing.
Well, there you go. And that's the most outstanding player in the OHL this year, by the way.
Oh, did he win?
He won, and he's currently at like 2 points a game in the OHL playoffs. I think heading into the final.
Who's the biggest star on the team?
I think it's going to be Auston Matthews if it's Auston Matthews. And I could be wrong, but I think that they're saying that, I mean, I don't know what is said. I don't know what Nylander's comparables are. All I know is they're expecting Nylander to be a great player. They're saying that Auston Matthews is not Connor McDavid level. I don't know how you make that comparison.
Andy Maitman.
Andy.
Because Austie is ridiculous.
That's the point.
So I feel like they would go with the next simple name.
No.
Andy Maitman.
Nah, brah. No, out of here. It's Auston Matthews.
Fine.
Auston Matthews?
All right. See? It doesn't fit.
We'll let the Twitter universe decide.
We'll figure this out.
Yeah.
We'll figure this out.
Twitterverse?
The Twitterverse.
The internets?
The internets. ROFLcopter.
Oh, come on, Interpeeps. Help me out.
ROFLcopter goes soy for some reason. I don't get this.
Is Riley
Also, I'm going to feed Steve Dangle's hand to him. Like the
and decapitate him according to the
you got some messed up. There's some messed up comments.
Oh yeah,
that's something fun. Go back into Steve's old videos and pick out the most messed up comment that you can pick out.
Dude, like on Sportsnet's Facebook page, I see comments all the time where I'm like, I'm fairly certain I could turn this over to the police.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Is Riley captain of the team in 2 years or 1 year?
Depends on what he does next year.
Yeah, I don't think they have a guy in mind. I really don't.
I think it's Riley's to win. I wouldn't say it's Riley's to lose. I think if Riley right now would be the lead candidate, but Riley's also got to show, and I don't know what the dressing room dynamic is. I honestly have no idea.
Me neither.
So, but he'll have to show that he's a leader, and he'll have to get these young guys behind him. What I love about
this 22-year-old will have to get the young guys behind him.
Yeah, but
he's younger than Zach Hyman.
Yeah. What I love about this though is that they are not going, well, Auston Matthews is going to come to town and in a year he'll be captain. Like they're doing in Edmonton.
Dude, totally. I mean, McDavid's is next level though. Like he probably
But we don't
should
know.
be.
This is the thing. This was the thing that kills me is that they're already comparing Auston Matthews to somebody.
Well,
you don't.
That's what happens in every
You just don't.
pick.
No, but you just don't know. You don't know in terms of like you don't know what level he's going to be at. What if he is at a Jack Eichel level?
Apparently, Jack Eichel couldn't carry his skates to the rink, according to one scout who spoke to someone I don't even remember.
Someone said that?
Supposedly. Which, I mean, come the fuck on. Like, Jack Eichel's amazing, dude.
Whatever.
Steve, I don't think you settled on a player.
Who's going to be captain? Was that
Who's
the question?
Who's going to be best player on the team?
Best player on
Face
the
the
team.
franchise. Matthews, Marner, Nylander, Riley.
God, hard to not say Nylander, too. I mean, like, really.
It is.
He's so good.
And you know what?
And he looks great.
As good as Matthews was in Europe, you got to do it here.
Yeah.
It is different. It's different. So
It's different.
It's different.
Although, I had to say, in a similar league, Nylander kicked booty and then came over and kicked booty. Liga and Sweden pretty close, right?
Yeah. Well, no. The Finnish league is not. It's not quite there.
I thought he was playing Swiss.
Oh, Matthews. Yeah, I don't know. He was playing Swiss. Sorry, I thought you were. I don't know why I thought you were talking about Finland. Let me throw it out there. Devil's advocate. I'm going to say Morgan Riley. He almost or did, I can't remember, almost got 40 points as a defender on that hunk of shit last year.
And by the way,
30th place hunk of shit.
And Kadri got 45 and he was the team leader.
And he missed a little bit of time.
Yeah, but
Oh, no.
I'm helping you here.
I see
I'm
what
not
you're saying.
bashing Kadri.
I see what you're saying.
I know you're used to that.
Kadri's a piece of shit.
What I think is Kadri can't carry his skates to the rink. Am I right?
Sorry, this coffee was finished a while ago. No, as a defender, he did what he did last year on a 30th place team. Imagine when he's feeding the puck up ice, no offense, to not Michael Grabner or not Leo Komarov on the first line. Like, God bless Leo Komarov. I don't necessarily want to see him on my first line, man. Mm-hmm. And you know what? He held it for a while. He really did. But, dude, imagine, forget Stamkos, okay? Forget it. You're feeding the puck to JVR.
Which is great.
You're feeding the puck to Kadri. You're feeding the puck to Matthews. You're feeding the puck to Nylander. You're feeding the puck to
Soshnikov.
Marner. You're feeding the puck to Soshnikov.
Connor Brown.
You're feeding the puck to
Brooks Light.
Milan Mahalik. Jared Cowan to Milan Mahalik.
Marlies got me so excited, man.
Yeah.
Dude, Tobias Lindbergh hasn't even been in the lineup. Like, for the last 2 games.
Well, and
Healthy scratch.
this is the thing, is that next year people are like, well, the Marlies will fall off. Don't think so.
Well, I mean, in that they won't score 114 points, yeah, probably. But
they're still going to be a pretty damn good team.
I think they'll still be pretty good. And like Andreas Johnson, at one point I thought would have made the Leafs out of camp. I think they might send him down to the Marlies for a little bit. And like, what a huge addition that'll be. Andrew Nielsen could play junior or could play AHL next year. Like, oh, holy shit. I'm trying not to get too ahead of myself.
It would get to the your hope is that you get to
it's looking good.
You hope that you get to the point where your minor league team is so good that teams come and go, here's an NHL player for that minor league player. Or an NHL pick or whatever it is the Leafs want at that particular time.
One thing I will say that I'm not sure Kyle Dubas quite did as much of as I was really implied before the season. He wanted to use the Orlando Solar Bears a little more, the ECHL team. He did use it, but it was mostly with guys on, not
He sent Garrett Sparks down to get some time.
Yeah, but like it was mostly guys like Kolomatis, like guys who, aren't even on an NHL contract, and it doesn't look like they're going to get an NHL contract. Like, I would like to see if there isn't enough room for a prospect, you let him go down there, play on the first line, and completely tear it up until the point where it's obvious that it's stupid to have him down there, and then you call him up. You know what I mean? Because it feels like the Marlies are carrying like 40 or 50 guys right now, and they just cut a bunch of guys from their tryout contracts. So they still have like over 40 players, and they cut people. Like they're thick, man. They're a deep team.
I don't see the Leafs making a lot of moves this offseason. I really don't. I don't think they need to.
Saying Stamkos, how the hell can they afford him?
Yeah, can they put him on? How?
Like, even if you throw Lupul on Robida Island,
I don't think that they can. I think the Leafs have. I don't think you've considered the fact that they are paying Mahalik. And they are paying Colin Greening, and they are paying Brooks. Together, isn't that like $10 million in salary?
Mahalik's over 4. I think is 4.5.
And Greening's got to be
go through this year.
No, Stalock's done.
He's done. Okay,
he's done.
And Rafi Torres is done. And
Rafi Torres is done.
Like, if you look at General Manager right now, it's really confusing. I looked at it yesterday, but
there's a lot going on because I don't think General Manager takes into account that Horton won't be on the books. Robida probably won't be on the books.
Lupul, likely.
I have no idea about Lupul. Dude, you think you know what the Leafs are going to look like next year?
No idea.
You have no idea. Neither do I. I just said all that stuff. Oh, imagine Riley feeding this guy, that guy, that guy. You have no idea.
2 final things. King Lochner, 16, points this out. If Matthews was born 48 hours earlier, he would have been a pick in 2015.
Oh.
What does that draft look like?
That's also good about Auston Matthews. He's older.
Yeah.
He's more developed. Does he go ahead of Michael?
I don't think so.
No?
I don't think so. But imagine then. Wow. Imagine then a draft.
He fall to us instead of Marner.
Maybe.
No, I don't think
we
so.
Probably would have had
he would have been ahead of Strome. Because that would make the draft then, if you say he's probably not Eichel, that would make the draft McDavid, Eichel, Matthews, Dylan Strome, Mitch Marner. Marner goes.
Would you have taken Strome over Marner? In retrospect now?
I don't know.
I don't think so.
I don't know. Well, I mean,
not that
hindsight 2020. I mean, look at the season Marner's had. On probably a better team, though. But
I think he's motivated. Not that Dylan Strome is not. Please don't, Arizona fans, please. Dylan Strome is going to be a fantastic hockey player. That's a toss-up. It's a hard one to take. I'm going to go with Marner because I'm partial to him because he's a Leaf.
And by the way, that's going to start up next year too. Forget the Matthews versus whoever. It's going to be Marner versus Strome.
Yep.
Because I bet Strome makes the Coyotes and Marner makes the Leafs.
Isn't it great that we have a Leaf that's in one versus another?
These conversations?
This has never happened unless it's Phil.
Not disparagingly?
Yeah. Amazing. Anyway, we should probably wrap it up.
One final thing.
Oh, yep.
Any comments on Kessel signing in New York, becoming the highest paid player in the league?
Oh, Amanda Kessel. I was like, what are you talking about?
And somebody was saying, like, she got, what is it, $26,000.
Yeah.
And people are like, it's a shame what they pay female hockey players. You have to understand, in this particular situation, this is a step in the right direction. That's a lot of money for a fledgling league.
For a league that doesn't make money.
Yeah.
And for a league, they have a salary cap, guys.
Yeah.
They have a salary cap.
So it's
$26,000 is a huge amount of money to give a team.
Tremendous compliment to her. It's great. It's great publicity. It's great for the league. It's great that her name. You know what? It helps that her name's Kessel too. It does help because you've got superstar in the NHL, superstar in the women's league, and it's like that is fantastic
for like
marketing purposes.
But she was the crown jewel. Like she was the big get.
Oh, for sure.
The big
listen,
get. And like there was talk about her maybe going to the CWHL and the NWHL.
That's not what I'm saying though. Is I think it's really cool that, you know, her and Phil can do endorsement deals together. They can do
that would be cool.
And you know what I mean? Like
that would be cool.
Like it made news.
Yeah,
that she signed.
That's the key. That's progress, and that's where we need to be going. And I think what I mean is that no matter what, she'd have made this money. No matter what. Because she's that good. But because her last name's Kessel, boom, marketing-wise, you got to just from a purely marketing perspective, that's also an amazing opportunity.
And just from her perspective, I mean, it's amazing that she came back to playing hockey this season at all.
Oh, my God.
She was supposed to miss the whole thing because of a concussion. I'm not actually sure how she sustained it, but, big comeback. Big payday, all things considered.
And who knows what her salary will be next year because you're going to have advertisers that are now interested. Right? You can now sell it. And that's the point. If you can sell the sponsorships, you can pay the players.
It's good news for like, I mean, if you're a player on any of the other teams in the league, part of you goes, damn it, now I have to play Amanda Kessel. However, Amanda Kessel is probably going to make money for this league, which makes money for me.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like when Wayne Gretzky was making $8 million in 1991.
Right.
You know,
but it gave everyone else a raise.
Yes. Yes. Absolutely.
It's good news for whoever outscores Amanda Kessel, if they can.
If they can.
Hey, I deserve Amanda Kessel money. It's all.
She is going to be so. It's going to be this. It's going to be so much fun to watch. I'm excited. Anyway,
very interesting.
Shout out everyone who donated to our Pave the Way.
Oh, can you?
Yeah,
can
we're
you
the top team right now.
And Jesse is the only one who actually blew his account.
Well,
out of
my fundraising goal is lower than yours, so
yeah, mine's 1,000.
Mine is also 1,000.
I'm at like 500. Guys, help me out.
Yeah, can you help me out too?
69.
Yours was
$690.
The $690.
Come on. That's funny. Dude, that's like, you know how much money I raised for the CN Tower walk? Because I could have been like, everyone give me $20. And some people might have been like, But I told people to donate $19.67. And a lot of people donated just that.
That's amazing.
They didn't round up to 20.
I like that.
I liked it too.
Here's what I would like. I would like you to donate $26,000 to me. Because Steve did 1967. How about we say 26,000 each of us?
We need to.
Everybody donate $26,000.
Adam's already on the CWHL bandwagon. Let's steal Amanda Kessel and get her to play for the Furies.
Into it.
There you go.
Let's do it. I'd like that.
Do you think another Kessel would come to Toronto? Probably not, right? Okay, fine. Well, we'll get her to sign something.
ROFLcopter.
Follow the guys on Twitter at Steve_Dangle, at Adam WYLDE, and at Jesse Blake.
The Steve Dangle Podcast. Brought to you by Panago Pizza. Order at Panago.com and stuff your face with deliciousness.